Good morning, television family and friends. It's good to see you again. It is the 17th day of August, 2022. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Dan Kuntz, your host, and it's Wednesday. A Wenatchee Valley tradition since 2021. Winning Wednesday is back. The Grant County Fair opened yesterday at the fairgrounds of Moses Lake. Runs all the way through till Sunday. And courtesy of our friends at the Grant County Fair, we're going to have 5 winners today. 5 of them. And each winner is going to get 4 day passes. You can use them any day that you want. So it costs $8 to get into the fair. So this is 8, 16, 20, but it's a huge value. You can use them today, you can use them tomorrow, you can use them Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Doesn't matter to me. It's for any day. You can split them up and use 2 for one day and 2 for the other. Doesn't matter to me. So 5 4-packs, 5 sets of 4 tickets each to get you into the fairgrounds. After you're in the fairgrounds, you're on your own for the food and the entertainment and the carnival and stuff like that. And from those 5 winners, we're going to do a second drawing, and that person is also going to win a couple of passes to see Lone Star. Lone Star is tomorrow night, Thursday night, at the fairgrounds. They are headlining, and these are the VIP lounge passes. We talked about this last week. That gets you private viewing at the Miller stage. You get catered food and VIP beverage service, and you get the cool lanyard to wear around your neck. Makes you feel important. So again, 5 people, 5 winners are each going to win 4 tickets to get into the fair in Moses Lake for free. And then out of those 5, we'll do a second drawing, and they will also win 2 passes to see country group Lone Star tomorrow night with the VIP package, all included. Winner at ncwlife.com. Winner at ncwlife.com is an email entry. That's how you do it. You know the rules. 1 entry per email address. Please, we keep track of these things. Employees of Solion Communications, Local Tel Broadcasting, and their immediate families, or is it Local Tel Communications and Solion Broadcasting? Anyway, if you work here, you can't win it. Neither can your family. And you got to be at least 21, because if you're going to go to the Lone Star thing, because, you know, they're serving there in that VIP thing, you got to be at least 21. So you got to be 21 to win the prizes. All right? Get in your emails. We'll do the drawing a little bit later on. Today, it is 68 degrees, a little on the hazy side as the fires up Lake Wenatchee Way continue to burn. Not a lot of activity there, but we'll give you the update on that. The Mariners were in the middle of the losing end of a perfect game, and then they came back and just took care of business in the 9th inning against the Angels. Drew Locke's got COVID. I don't. And in the back half of the program, we're going to replay an interview that Arch did with a couple of local musicians. Arch Ecker filled in with me a couple of weeks ago when I was on vacation. Arch is a local musician and a good one, multi-instrumentalist, and he had a chance to sit down with his good buddies Mike Bills and Albert Ruckard to talk about the local music scene, which is pretty hopping. Arch and Albert and Mike. That will be the interview segment in the back half of the program. Let's get our tour going with our cameras around the valley. And we begin with the jump-off ridge camera. Our Wenatchee Heights camera is on the fritz. They're working on it. They're going to get it fixed, but right now it ain't working. So we're looking at the Wenatchee Valley from the very tip top, the very edge of jump-off ridge. Again, it looks a little hazy, but there's so much information in that frame. You're seeing such a huge swath of real estate. It's a bit of an optical illusion. It's really not that hazy. It just looks that hazy because of how high that camera is and how much information is in on the frame there. Good morning to the valley. Oh, look, you can see my house. You can see my house. Camera 2. We are off to, that's got to be Lake Chelan there. I want to say maybe the Bear Mountain camera. It is the Bear Mountain camera. Good morning. I haven't played Bear Mountain Golf Course this year. I don't know what's the matter with me. I should. It's a great golf course, especially the back 9. Good morning to the lake. That's going to be a place for folks to cool off because we're in for triple-digit temperatures for the next 3 or 4 days. The very center of this huge dome of high pressure is actually right over our area. It's sitting squarely. That's going to amplify the temperatures even more than what we had yesterday. And then we topped off at 96 on Tuesday. Camera 3. Good morning to Rocky Reach Dam from our Omi Gardens camera. We got that zoomed in quite a bit. Lake Antioch directly behind that. Can't quite make out the Baker Flats area. It's just out of your frame. Good morning to our, and of course Omi Gardens is also a great place to get out of the heat with all of that shade and its higher elevation. It's a beautiful area, Elmy Gardens. I love it up there. Camera number 4. Rock Island checks in from our Rock Island camera. Again, really high and a lot of information for you to soak in there. You can see Clockham Ridge, you can see Malaga, you can see all of Rock Island, the East Wenatchee Bench on your right. And the sky is a bit hazy, but the air quality in the Wenatchee Valley is good as we speak. All right, have we mentioned that it's going to be hot? The excessive heat warning begins at noon today till 11 o'clock on Friday. They may extend it, so look at where you live. That's your forecast highs for the next 4 days, today, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. As you see that Thursday looks to be the hottest day of this summer heat. It'll be peaking on Thursday. And that's what you see there is our forecast high temperatures and the record high temperatures for those respective dates. Everybody is going to be very, very warm. Again, the very middle of this high pressure ridge is right over the top of north central Washington. Plenty of sunshine, a little hazy, and pretty darn hot. And how long is this going to last? What's the long-term outlook for the rest of August? Well, hot and dry. As you can see, we have a better than 50-50 chance to see temperatures above normal for the rest of this month, and a better than 50-50 chance of having below normal precipitation. So the heat in the west continues pretty much unabated right through the rest of this month. And according to my calendar, we still got a couple weeks to go before September comes around. So we're in for a long, long stretch of sunny and warm and sometimes downright hot temperatures. From the National Weather Service, we begin with 100 degrees today. So just for a reminder, we had 92 on Monday and then 96 yesterday. So we're jumping up by about 4-degree increments, which is why we've pegged 100 for our afternoon high. 74 for the overnight low, very mild. That's going to be the hottest day is Thursday, 101 with an overnight low of 76. Just a couple of clouds passing through. Still hot on Friday, 99. Saturday, a little bit cooler, but still pretty hot, 95. Then we just kind of hang right around the mid-90s for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. The excessive heat warning starts at noon today, goes to 11 o'clock on Friday night. They could extend it for another day or two. We'll have to wait and see, but get ready for more hot temperatures. Almost 8 minutes after the hour, and we have your news for you in 1 minute. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
This Labor Day weekend is a time to get your boots on and join all your friends and family at the Ellensburg Rodeo. The nation's best athletes provide nonstop action all weekend long under the blue skies of Ellensburg. Your rodeo ticket also gets you into the world-famous Behind the Chute Saloon featuring a world-class lineup of entertainment. It's your chance to hang out with some real cowboys and cowgirls, too. Don't miss the Ellensburg Rodeo this Labor Day weekend. For tickets, call 800-637-2444 or visit ellensburgrodeo.com.
A little on the hazy side, as you see. We're at 68 degrees, right around 100. For the afternoon high today, we'll be in the triple digits again, about 101 on a Thursday. A gradual cool down, and I mean a gradual cool down into the weekend, but pretty hot for the foreseeable future. It's 9 minutes after the hour. A rather large swath of downtown East Wenatchee, including the Wenatchee Valley Mall, shut down yesterday morning because a major natural gas line was ruptured. Fire officials say a contractor working at the intersection of Standifer and Valley Mall Parkway punctured the big gas line at about 8 o'clock yesterday morning. The streets were shut down, numerous businesses evacuated until about noon. That's when the gas line was repaired. And then they brought in air monitoring that said, okay, it's safe to return. Businesses west of the mall were told to shelter in place during the incident. Douglas County Fire District 2, Chelan County Fire District 1, and law enforcement all responded. Also responding was the Aircraft Rescue and Firefighting Truck, an ARF truck from Payboro Memorial Airport. Fire District spokeswoman Kay McKellar said firefighters could hear the gas leak from several hundred yards away. Things are back to normal now. A burglary investigation uncovered a wealth of items that were stolen from a local storage locker and then tried to be sold on the internet. And among those items that were stolen, the ashes of the owner's relative. 37-year-old Daniel Craig Wright of East Wenatchee is now in jail on suspicion of possessing and trafficking stolen property, as well as possession of fentanyl with intent to deliver. The Chelan County Sheriff's Office and the Columbia River Drug Task Force say Wright attempted to sell stolen items on Facebook Marketplace that were taken during an August 6th burglary at a storage unit on McKittrick Street. That included a kayak, scooters, golf clubs, camping gear, jewelry, and a container with the ashes of the victim's mother was also taken. Detectives arrested Wright at his residence last Thursday. They said they recovered a majority of the stolen items at his residence, including the ashes, by the way. Wright is in jail on a $5,000 bond. Wenatchee firefighters responded to a report of an RV that caught fire Monday night along Spokane Street near South Chelan Avenue here in town. When they arrived, they found the RV fully engulfed. Kay McKellar with Chelan County Fire District 1 said a man who was apparently the owner of the RV suffered a burn to his hand, but he refused treatment. The fire was first reported at 8:25 on Monday night and scorched the base of a tree in front of a nearby residence, but firefighters were able to keep the fire from spreading into the tree and the home. The homeowner said she was away Monday evening and returned to find the RV on fire in front of her home. She says she doesn't even know the owner of the vehicle. McKellar said firefighters had cleared the scene by about 9:22. The cause of the fire is under investigation. After a pair of electric bikes was stolen outside of Moses Lake residence, kids had their bikes stolen. Well, a Grant County Sheriff's deputy was so moved by this that he raised the money to have their electric bikes replaced. The Sheriff's Office said that when Deputy Zane Bundy responded to the burglary in the Larson community, the family told him the kids have respect for law enforcement and the loss of the bikes would be a hardship on the family. So Bundy had his, quoting now, heartstrings pulled, end quote. He passed the hat to all the Sheriff's Office employees. They raised enough money to buy 2 new bikes. And on Sunday, Bundy and Deputy Luis Jimenez delivered the bikes to the kids. That's pretty cool. The Wenatchee Police Department is offering free civilian classes if you want to learn how to respond to an active threat. Officer Eric Magnuson will come to any location in the Wenatchee Valley to discuss how to be best prepared for an active threat situation, as well as what to expect from a law enforcement perspective. The class is about an hour long. To schedule a training session, Magnuson can be contacted via email through the police department. And finally, here's the latest on the White River and Irving Peak fires that continue to burn. They're in their 6th day now. It's burning in heavy, mostly dead timber and very steep slopes. Aircraft continuing to drop water and retardant on the perimeter of both fires. The combined acreage of both the fires, the Irving Peak and the White River fire, the combined acreage is about 676 acres. The management team assigned to both fires expect the fire activity today to spread westerly up the White River Valley. There have been no changes, by the way, to the evacuation orders that were issued earlier in the week. That's what's making news. It's 14 minutes after the hour. The news on television will come your way at 5, 6, and 10 tonight with Grant and Eric. And you can also, of course, watch our newscast at your own leisure on our Facebook page or via our homepage. With the preview, the anchor, Grant Olson.
Good morning, Dan. Coming up tonight on the NCW Life Evening News, triple-digit heat is expected over the next few days. How hot will it get, and when will it end? I'll have all the details in your complete North Central Washington weather forecast. And in sports, Eric Grantstrom has a look at last night's Mariners-Angels series and how it affects Seattle's wild card playoff chances. That and all the day's news stories coming your way tonight at 5, 6, and 10 on the NCW Life Evening News. We hope to see you then. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Don't forget, you got a news tip or you just want to drop us a note and say hi. Look at the bottom of your screen. That's how you go about doing it. If you have access to the computer, you're in Facebook, homepage, email. Reach out to us if you have a news tip. After a break, more ninth inning runs from the Mariners. These were more conventional than what they had the other night against the Angels. We'll have highlights of that. Who's starting tomorrow night for the Seahawks against the Bears? Well, at quarterback, we know who's not starting. Sports is 1 minute away. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Happy summer days from Collins Fashions. We have what you need to stay cool and be ready for your casual and dressy events. Sundresses in cotton and linen, semi-formal dresses from Joseph, Lyman, and Alex, swimwear and shorts, capris, tees for your casual days and fall and winter vacations, summer footwear from Soft, Jambu, Fly London, and Bueno. Come check out Tommy Bahama for men and women. Brighton handbags and jewelry and sunglasses add to your glam for summer. Come visit Collins, where fun meets fashion in downtown Wenatchee.
Wenatchee, it's a WWE Sunday stunner you won't want to miss. Witness Drew McIntyre and the New Day take on the Usos and Sami Zayn in a 6-man tag team match.
This is massive.
Plus, Liv Morgan battles Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler in a triple threat match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. It's WWE Sunday Stunner, live in Wenatchee, Sunday, September 11th. Tickets and Superstar Experience packages available now.
16 minutes after the hour, the Mariners scored 8 unanswered runs in the final 3 innings, and they came from behind to beat the Angels last night. The final was 8-2. Jose Suarez was perfect through 5 1/3 innings. LA built an early 2-0 lead, but then the Mariner bats came awake. In the back half of the game, they added 5 runs in the 9th to seal away the victory.
Oh, driven out to left field. Winker going back on it. Luis Rengifo. He leaves the yard. Solo shot for Giffey. 1-0 Halos. That Carlin Bathe on the call on that, going Giffey for the home run blast. Back-to-back nights. And driven for a base hit. Fletcher is going to score easily. Giffey is on fire. 2-0 Angels.
But the other way, there we go! Frazier scores. Rolling around Haggerty. Julio will get the stop sign. Ty France doing Ty France things, going opposite field, scores 2, ties it at 2. Couple RBI, he's got 59 now. Been a fantastic inning for the Mariners after Suarez retired the first 16 men that he faced. We heard it. And that give him a chance. Julio can run. Here's the throw by Turner Ward. Julio, he's in there. Jesse Winker gives the Mariners a 3-2 lead with the sac fly. Hit it hard down the line. That is a fair ball. Everybody runs. Gino's going to score. Casale showed some good speed. He's going to score. Digging for 3 and getting there with a dive. Adam Frazier, a 2-run triple. Insurance tallies for the Mariners here in the 9th.
Here's a swing and a ground ball off the bat of Haggerty to right side, shallow right field. Rengifo can't get off the throw, and it's late to first base, and a run will score. Sam Haggerty with a base hit. Rengifo was way back in shallow right field, had to go to his left, and the Mariners pick up another run here in the 9th inning.
2 out, a runner on. Hit it hard. Right field. Deep, and it is a home run for Julio. A 2-run shot with 2 outs, and it takes the lead to 8-2 Mariners. What a hot finish here in the 9th. He ties Suarez for the team lead with 19 home runs. This will put it into it. Dylan Moore gets a chance, and that'll do it. Mariners.
Ty France has been struggling at the plate since he came back to the roster off the injured list. He's lost 40 points on his batting average, but last night his bat started to show a little bit of life, and manager Scott Service said it was just a matter of time.
When hitters start, they struggle. They're not getting hits. I mean, Ty's hit some balls hard, just haven't fallen in. Right away, you start looking at your mechanics, and as long as Ty swings at the right pitches and just continues to compete, I think in that moment, the bases are loaded, you forget about your mechanics. I just got to compete. I got to have a good at-bat here, figure out a way to get this run in, and he did more than that. He drove in a couple, so good for him. It hasn't been easy for him lately, but when you forget about everything else, all your mechanics, just play baseball, and that's what he did. Offensively, to not get a hit through 5 innings, and you turn up and you look at the end of the night, we got 8 runs up there. A credit to our guys hanging in there. I thought Suarez was really good early on, but I think a ton of the credit needs to go to Robbie Ray tonight. I thought coming out of the chute, he gave up this solo home run the first, kind of had his back against the wall with the bases loaded in the 3rd inning, and getting the double play in the 3rd inning was huge. the biggest outs of the game for me, to keeping the game right there 2-0, and after that, settled down and threw the ball really well. Again, 10 strikeouts. Robbie was getting after it, had a good breaking ball tonight, but the at-bats, it was not easy. It was a lot of 3-2 strikeouts, foul balls deep, and it sucked up a lot of pitches. But credit to him, when you're down 2-0 like that and your offense isn't doing anything, it's hard.
Mariners go for the sweep this afternoon. It's a matinee 1:07 first pitch. George Kirby will toe the rubber for the Mariners. By the way, you can only watch the game on YouTube. All right, to the Les Schwab American League West scoreboard. Oakland snapping a 9-game losing streak. They beat Texas 5-1. Sean Murphy and Elvis Andrus homered to help Oakland win. The White Sox beat the Astros 4-3. Gavin Sheets tying the game in the 7th on a 2-run double. And then Yoan Moncada's RBI base hit in the 8th give the White Sox the victory. It's the second game in a row that the Astros bullpen blew it. Seattle is a game and a half now in the lead for the top spot in the wild card after yesterday's win. Tampa Bay kept pace with a 3-1 win over my Yankees. Hey, my Yankees scored a run. Wow. Baltimore climbed to within a half game at the final playoff spot. They beat Toronto 4-2. Minnesota keeping pace with Chicago with a 9-0 shutout of the Royals. 1 hour and a half after Pete Carroll announced that Drew Lock would start tomorrow night's preseason game against Chicago, Drew Lock tested positive for COVID-19. So the fourth-year player will not play in his key battle for who's going to be the starting quarterback between him and Geno Smith. Carroll said the plan all along was to start Smith in the first preseason game, Lock in the second. He said both Lock and Smith looked good against Pittsburgh.
They both did well. They both played well. And Geno should have been 10 for 10. Had 2 drops in the ball on the sidelines that it should have been, and then the completed pass too. So he did everything we asked him. Had a heck of a 2-minute drive, took care of the ball, and ran a little bit. So he did good. Chew came right out, took us right down the field, and did well and popped the ball around and converted some third downs, and he did good stuff. So I mean, that's what's been happening. They kind of continue to add to the kind of the work resume, and we're just trying to figure it out in time. So pleased with both guys so far.
So no Drew Lock tomorrow, which means we'll see quite a bit of Mr. Eason. Jacob Eason will be playing quite a bit, and he has he's fortunate enough because the offensive line, according to Pete Carroll, is playing pretty good.
Number one focus on praise and with the fellas is that the guys up front played in the game like they've been practicing, and their consistency and our targeting, the communication. Austin did a great job, and as did Kyle, helping the guys, get everything lined up. And you also, their play was complemented by a really consistent performance by all the running backs. Everybody looked good. Everybody made yards, and pass protection was very solid, and so yeah, it was a really good first game. And the 2 young tackles both did well.
Abraham Lucas was one of those players that Pete was referring to. He's the rookie out of Washington State, and he says he played pretty good in his first game.
It was all right. I mean, as kind of low-key as that sounds, it's kind of just how I look at it, just because I like to kind of come in with that attitude of always improving. So, I mean, it was okay. It was fun. I mean, other than losing. It certainly was surreal. I'm glad to check that off the bucket list, of playing my first preseason game.
Seahawks and the Bears tomorrow night, Lumen Field, 5 o'clock. It'll be televised on the Entertainment and Sports Programming Network. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on the 17th day of August, this winning Wednesday. I could have chosen National Black Cat Appreciation Day. I could have chosen National Nonprofit Day. Today is National Thrift Shop Day. But no, today we're going to celebrate the foot. National I Love My Feet Day. The feet, of course, are the foundation of the rest of the body. You got happy feet, you got healthy feet, the rest of the body falls into line. Of course, our feet are our primary mode of transportation, whether we're walking or running or skipping or riding a bike or whatever, dancing. We got to take care of our feet. 75% of all adults have some kind of foot problem, and almost all of those are related to your shoes. Buying a good pair of shoes is important. Women have 4 times as many foot problems as men, and you can guess why. High heels. The human body just wasn't designed to wear those things. Foot bones make up about 1/4 of all the bones in your body. So 1/4 of all the bones in your entire skeleton are in the foot. There's a lot of bones down there. The average person will walk about 100,000 miles in their lifetime. Take care of your feet, and they will take care of you. Happy National I Love My Feet Day today, if in fact you love your feet. I do. Let's move forward with Today in History. Happy birthday to the Pike Place Market. It is still the most visited tourist attraction in all of Seattle. It opened its doors on Saturday morning, August 17th, 1907, 115 years ago today. It was a huge success. All the local farmers who showed up to sell their fruits and vegetables were completely sold out by noon. They had only been open for like 3 or 4 hours, and they were out of food by noon. And of course, I love going to the Pike Place Market whenever I'm in the Emerald City because you get just a great cross-reference of everybody. If you're into people watching, and I enjoy that, there's very few places anywhere in the Pacific Northwest for people watching than the Pike Place Market, which opened on this date, August 17th, 1907. 89 years ago today, August 17th, 1933. Now, when Cal Ripken Jr. broke Lou Gehrig's streak by playing in 2,131 consecutive games, it was a huge thing in Baltimore. The president was there. Everybody was there. Huge ratings. It was baseball history. Well, when Lou Gehrig broke Everett Scott's record by playing in his 1,308th consecutive game, it was in St. Louis against the Browns. They had a small little ceremony, and then they played baseball. Lou had a good game, too. He had a single and a triple, but the last place Browns beat the first place Yankees 7-6. So Lou Gehrig surpasses Everett Scott to play in his 1,308th consecutive game. He would go on to break his record a bunch more times. Speaking of baseball, 65 years ago today, Richie Ashburn, if you look at the headline, it doesn't really mean anything to what happened. Richie Ashburn of the Philadelphia Phillies had a reputation of fouling off pitches, keeping his at-bats alive by fouling off pitches. He was a master of it. But he went a little too far on this date at Shibe Park in Philadelphia. The Phillies were playing. Richie Ashburn was at base, was at the plate. Alice Roth was sitting in her box seat at Shibe Park. Richie Ashburn fouled off a pitch. It hit Alice in the nose. It broke her nose. They stopped the game. The medics came down. They put Alice Roth in a stretcher, and as they were carrying her out of Shibe Park, up the stairs, the game resumed. On the very next pitch, Richie Ashburn fouls the ball back again, and he hits Alice Roth in the knee, breaking her kneecap. Alice did not have a good day at the ballpark. You get hit by a foul ball, you're on your way to the hospital, you get hit by a foul ball again. Happened on this date 65 years ago today. 60 years ago today, Helmut Kubik and Peter Fechter tried to climb over the Berlin Wall. Helmut made it. Peter did not. The footage is a little sobering. When Helmut made it over the wall, they actually made it all the way to the final wall. Helmut made it over, but that also got the attention of the East German border guards who saw Peter Fechter trying to climb over the wall, and they shot him. They shot him in the pelvis while he was climbing up the wall in plain view of hundreds of witnesses on both sides of the Berlin Wall. He fell back into what's known as the death strip, no man's land, and there he sat there. He got no medical attention whatsoever from the East German guards. He was screaming. They threw him bandages from the west side of the Berlin Wall, but it was too late. He couldn't reach them, and Peter Fechter bled to death in front of hundreds of witnesses and nobody helping him out. About an hour later, he was 21 years old. He wanted his freedom. 53 years ago today, Hurricane Camille strikes the Gulf Coast of the United States. Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana gets hammered by Hurricane Camille. 256 people died, $1.42 billion in damages in 1969. Hurricane Camille, the second most intense hurricane ever to strike the United States on this date in 1969. The bottom of the hour, birthdays. Born on a mountaintop in Tennessee, greatest state in the land of the free. Lived in the woods so we knew every tree. Killed Tim Bar when he was only 3. Davy Crockett, the legendary outdoorsman and frontiersman born in the state in 1786, died at the age of 49 in 1836. He became famous during his lifetime for his larger-than-life exploits, and then he was popularized with books and plays and movies and television shows, and so the true story of Davy Crockett has been so mixed up with American folk heroes, but people still remember him, and he was born in 1786, so there's that to be said. A couple of legendary actors. Robert De Niro, 79 years old today. I don't even know where to begin. Mean Streets, The Godfather Part 2, Taxi Driver, of course, The Deer Hunter, Raging Bull, The King of Comedy, Goodfellas, Once Upon a Time in America, Midnight Run, one of my favorites, Casino Heat. Robert De Niro is 79 years old today, and Sean Penn. He's got 2 Academy Awards for Best Actor. He won one for Mystic River and one for Milk. Sean Penn, 62 years old today. And he was married to Madonna. Going to take a break. An opinion from Mike Mad Dog Magnotti. And then Arch Ecker, our good buddy Arch Ecker, when I was on vacation. Arch is a musician. And he sat down with 2 of his great musician friends, Albert Rookert and Mike Bills, to talk about the local music scene. And we're going to have that interview when we come back. You're watching Wake Up in Anchi Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. So when I go into a retail store, I choose my items that I want to purchase. I bring them to the checkout stand, prepared to pay. And lo and behold, there at the cash register is a tip jar. A tip jar? What am I tipping this employee for? For taking my money and accurately reading what the cash register says my change is? Now, tipping is getting way out of hands, folks. I can and do understand tipping food service folks, and I regularly tip 20% or more. I really do. And I tip cab and Uber drivers and folks who deliver food to my house. I also tip baristas because, honestly, my daughter used to be one. But a tip jar at a retail establishment, I can just imagine the next time I go into my local hardware store, pick up my light bulbs and a screwdriver that I need, and when I go to pay, there's going to be a tip jar on the counter. Sorry, ain't going to have none of my money in it. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
I'm Brian Thorpe, and I'm proud to say that Global Car Care is growing. We always do the right thing, and because of that, we're busy, and it's time to hire an experienced automotive technician. We spend as much time with our coworkers as we do our own family. I want them to understand they're not a number here. They're a person with a family, and I want them to be part of this family too. Do you want an owner that understands and respects what you do every day? I'm that guy. Our compensation is the best in the area. I want you to have your career with us.
At Click It RV, we're overstocked on inventory and need to make room for brand new models on our lot. Between our 4 locations in Spokane, Tri-Cities, Moses Lake, and Milton Freewater, We have hundreds of travel trailers, fifth wheels, and RVs that have to go. With low payments, 0 down, and no payments for 90 days, you'll want to hurry in today while the best floor plans are still available. Come check out the Overstock Liquidation Sale, going on now at Click It RV.
And welcome back once again to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. I'm Art Checker filling in for Dan Kuntz this week. And my guests this morning, to my left is Albert Ruckert, and to my far left is Mike Bills. They're a couple of guys who are very well known in the local music scene, and that's our topic today. We're going to talk about the local music scene, where you can catch live music, and we're also going to touch a little bit on youth exposure to music in terms of school programs and other programs as well. I'm actually going to start off to the far side with Mike Bills. And Mike, one thing that you and Albert have in common is you both play in a lot of different configurations. You do some solo stuff, you play in band configurations, you're all over the place. So tell me a little bit about, first off, let's start with what you do now, and then we'll dip back and talk about how you got started playing music.
Okay. Right now I play most frequently either solo, and I have kind of a weird setup where I play some percussion with my feet while I'm playing the guitar and singing, and then sometimes I do that with a bass player as well, and which then frees me up to do a lot more guitar work, which I enjoy doing. But then I also play with a wonderful group that's called the Skiffs, and they are a husband-wife group, and Kate plays a big stand-up bass. It's taller than she is, and she plays it really well, slaps it. They do kind of a rockabilly act. And then Derek, her husband, plays acoustic guitar and sings, and he can play the heck out of a guitar, as you know. Yes. And then I get to play keyboards, steel guitar, and lead guitar behind them. And so,
a man of many talents.
So. Kind of learning, yeah.
So this is where we roll the clock back. What was the first instrument you learned to play, and how old were you?
When I was 18, for my 18th birthday, I asked my parents for a guitar, and they got me. They didn't know what to do, so they got me, which was actually good, a nylon string classical acoustic guitar, and that was what I started on, and just started. I think they also got me the Roy Clark Big Note guitar book that had little sticker decals that you could put on the neck of your guitar and to learn the chords, and that's kind of how I got started.
So what was the first song you learned to play?
I think Blue Bayou was in the book. Maybe was one of the first. Most of the songs in the book I didn't know, so that was one of the only songs in the book that I knew like at the time.
Tell me about your musical evolution and how you morphed into learning other instruments as well. What was the impetus behind that?
Well, when I went to college, I was a psychology major, but because you had to take some elective credits and you had to take an art class, and I was allowed to take a jazz guitar improv. Well, it was a jazz improv class, and I was at a huge disadvantage because everyone else in the class were music majors and had been playing their instruments since they were probably in 5th grade, and then there's me, and it was really a struggle, but I learned a ton and about music theory and about how chords and scales work together and a lot of those things, and so trial by fire.
When did you start playing and performing in front of people?
Around that same...
Aside from scholastically, but like going out to a place of business and performing.
Around that same time, I started playing in a punk band in Missoula, Montana, where I was going to college, and then yes, exactly. And then by the time I was towards the end of my undergrad and then grad degrees, I was playing every weekend in bar bands and making my, rather than flipping burgers somewhere, that's what I was doing for a job. It worked pretty well for college because you had to basically, you worked all weekend and then the rest of the week was free to study. Yeah, so yeah.
Albert, let's talk about you. How did you get started playing a musical instrument?
Well, my story is not nearly as successful as Mike Bill's here.
Come on.
My first time touching a guitar was Sterling Middle School. We did a little segment in music class. The teacher was, great lady, Mrs. Deborah Lacey, and so we played guitar for all of a week, and that was my first time touching a guitar, and I thought, oh, that was interesting. About 3 years later, kind of decided I wanted to try to be in a rock band and got a guitar for my birthday, and lasted about a year and a half, maybe less than that. Played all of about 3 gigs, and the problem there is I just wasn't any good. So advance about 30 some years, I was approaching my 50th birthday, decided I want to be a musician, and really hunkered down, started playing a lot, and a lot being many nights, 6 to 8 hours. I'd be up till 2, 3 in the morning playing guitar, and it just caught me at that moment, and been doing it ever since, every day.
At some point, is it fair to say the fever just gripped you because, like Mike, now you'll play pretty much any opportunity you can. If somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, let's do something," and you'll check your calendar, because I get this, I get it, I live this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I enjoy it very much, and I try to keep it in the right balance. But I mean, hey, we're having a great time. We're making tens of dollars, and
literal tens.
So it's certainly not at this point something I'm in it for any of the money, but it's a game changer to have something like that you can work so hard at to try to get decent at, where people enjoy coming to watch. So it's been great.
So tell me, obviously, I know the band you're in because I happen to kind of tend to be in it with you, but in addition to No Promises, tell me about some of the other things you do.
Yeah, well, certainly I do want to, No Promises, which we have the best bass player in all of Washington right here with Archman, so we're pretty darn fortunate with that. And also a project I've been involved with about 3.5 years is Rooklyn Bridge. Me and a young female vocalist, Raquel Norland. She's kind of off to college now, but when she's home, we gather some gigs and play. We played last weekend. Just an amazing young lady. She's recorded in Nashville, recorded here, has several original songs, and so that's a project that's just dear to my heart, especially since she started. She was so young, and she still is, but I just took that as a pretty high responsibility on my part to make sure it's a good experience for her, and so far so good.
And Rooklyn Bridge, of course, is a play of your two names, your Rookard and her Norland. So Rookland Bridge, was that your idea or hers?
It was not my idea. I don't have that kind of creativity. So that was hers. And then she lived in Wenatchee. I was in East Wenatchee, separated by a bridge. So therefore she came up with Rookland Bridge.
Very creative.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And she's a very talented young lady. I've seen you guys perform, so
yeah, I agree.
No question. Mike, let's talk about the music scene that you see in Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, and even the expanding area. There's a lot of places to play and a lot of opportunities to take in live music that sometimes people who aren't really plugged into it might not even be aware of.
You're absolutely right. There are a few, maybe within the last 10 years, I hardly ever played anywhere in Wenatchee. I'd always have to go to Chelan or Leavenworth or other areas to play. I mean, there would be once in a while, maybe once a month, a gig here in Wenatchee, but there really wasn't much. And in the last maybe a year before COVID, a year or two before COVID, that began to open up, and there have been more and more places open. And now with all the wineries and breweries, and people are so, coming out of COVID, people are so hungry to go out and just kind of resume a normal life and get to listen to music, and there's an appreciation here now in Wenatchee that I haven't seen before. I don't know about you, Al, but it just seems like it. Yeah.
And I played a lot of years in Montana, and as much as I had great experiences there and some tremendous crowds and really good energy sharing with crowds, what I've experienced here in Wenatchee and the surrounding area, Chelan, for example, Manson, it's another level. I mean, the level of appreciation that you get from the crowd and the interaction, and them taking time to come up and find you and talk to you and tell you how much they appreciate what you do. It's remarkable, and it's a great testament to the people here.
Yes, definitely.
So we talked about off camera, we talked a little bit about a jam session, and that's how I found my way into a lot of different musical situations when I moved into new towns. Of course, starting in Butte, that was part of it. I moved to Topeka, Kansas. First thing I did was find a jam session. Then I got plugged into some bands. And jam sessions are happening here in Wenatchee, and you know about that firsthand.
Yes, I was asked to take over a local blues jam that happens every Monday evening here back in January or so. And so I'm really fortunate to be the leader of that, the host of it. We meet every the first and third Monday of each month at Badger Mountain Brewing, and then from 6 until 9. And then on the second and fourth Mondays of each month, we are at Riverside Pub, which is also in Columbia Valley Brewing. And so we're really fortunate to have both of those venues to host us. And it's a great opportunity for people who we have 3 harmonica players who come on a regular basis. We have a whole bunch of guitar players. We tend to play mostly blues because it's a fairly simple form of music that most people can jump into whether they know the song or not. But we often go into other styles of music as well. But it's a great opportunity for people if you're out there and you enjoy playing music, but you want to kind of have an opportunity to step out a little bit and play with some other musicians, maybe get a chance to solo a little. It's a great opportunity for that. And if anyone comes, I've got a sign-up sheet. You sign up for a time slot, and then I make sure you get a chance to solo, even if it's just 2 or 3 notes, whatever you want to do.
So what are the basic rules of engagement for people that have never attended a jam night before? Bring your own instrument, bring your own amp. What do you have to do?
Yes, both of those. Although sometimes we can supply an amp, sometimes, if someone comes and they don't have one. But definitely bring your own instrument. We mostly just tell people to listen, try to fit in with what's going on, and just come and have a good time. And we also love it when a lot of people love to come and just listen and just feel the vibe and get to listen to other musicians. And one of the funnest things, and I'm sure you've experienced this, is when you get together with a couple of people you've never played with before, and you may not even know the song that they're doing. It's some magical things can happen. Sometimes it's a train wreck, but that's fun too. But sometimes, very often, it's magical and it's a great experience.
It's not fun if you're on the train.
Well, it is true.
No, absolutely. And it's funny because that term magic is exactly what I was looking at, because I've been in attendance at a few of them. I have yet to get up and play. I guess once I did play piano at Riverside at one of the jams.
Oh.
But I really haven't gotten up and played bass or anything, but I've watched as that magic happens. And that's really the best word to describe it, because it's out of nowhere. And you see these guys just kind of wander up, and all of a sudden this ball of magic just transpires. Mm-hmm. And like you said, even if you're not playing, it's a wonderful thing to experience. Albert, for you, what's your experience with jam nights?
Man, pretty minimal. We've dropped into a few different places. My past friend Walter, we ended up doing a jam thing over in Idaho at Sandpoint. I was at one in New Orleans a few weeks ago and got to experience that a little bit. But listening to Mike Bills, I'd like to maybe try to show up and see if I can get on the stage. And,
you should. You were good.
Sometimes I am the train wreck. So,
you keep playing yourself down. You are a very good guitar player.
Well, thank you. So and then
I'll second that.
Yeah, well, thank you. And similar to what Mike Bill said, the music scene here is unbelievable compared to 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, you'd go out 3 or 4 years ago and there'd be 2 or 3 options. And now, any given night, there might be 10, 20, 30 options for music. And the quality of that music just gets better and better. They're bringing bands from out of the area, out of state. And it just, we just locally continue to try to pick our game up because we have to be able to compete with that.
I have an opinion that I'm sure you both share, and that's that music is a gift to yourself that you will have for the rest of your life. And with that said, I'd like each of you to kind of just talk about your thoughts on having music available for young kids. Not necessarily to ram it down their throats, but to make it available and to expose kids to guitars and to pianos. I know that 30 years ago, 40 years, like the recorder. That's okay. It's a start, but expose kids to things. This is like anything else. Let them see it, let them touch it, because for a lot of kids that may have the aptitude for it, but don't ever have the opportunity to see what it feels like, they may go their whole life, or maybe not learn until their middle part of their life that they even like it. So talk about the importance of having it available in schools.
Yeah. Man, to me, I think it's critical. There are a few things that you can start young and take it to the end of your life, really. So to have that exposure, to give the kids the opportunity. Our youngest son was quite an accomplished violin player. Well, school educator Tara Abbott came to their class and played violin. And he says, I want to play violin. Our middle son was an accomplished piano player, same story. So exposing kids as much as you can and as early as you can, I think, is huge. It's like another language, right? You learn music is another foreign language, but it's one that you can work on forever. It's like golf, but not as frustrating. Man, yeah, certainly behind any of those programs and as much as we can get kids involved. And that's having the young lady we were talking a little bit earlier, had an 8-year-old girl come up and sing a song with Brooklyn Bridge over the weekend, and she killed it. She absolutely killed it. And one other thing Kelly and I do is we take inflatable guitars and microphones. So if there's a young kid that's kind of watching and interested, we will inflate one of them and let them have a choice, and they can use a mic to sing or use a guitar to play along. So encouraging kids is huge, and I'm glad you brought it up.
Mike?
That's great. Well, I think, Al, your story is a perfect example of that, where you were introduced to the guitar in a music class in middle school, and how it changed your life. And I work in schools in Eastmont School District, and I see that all the time with how some students just really connect with music and take off. Others it's art, others it's math, but everybody has their thing, and music is definitely an important part of that. And yeah, it's...
My guests today have been Albert Ruckert and Mike Bills. We've talked a little bit about their performances around the area. We'll take a quick look at some of those performances here for just a couple of moments, and we'll be right back. Check this out.
Not alone.
Outstanding stuff, guys. I want to thank you both for being here this morning, and we'll see you out there on stage somewhere.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
It's Al Ruckert and Mike Bills joining us here this morning, and we'll be back with more. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. You can lift this up.
Great, I want that one. I like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Raising a family may have seemed overwhelming to your parents, but they weren't. Coach, teacher, life guide, caregiver. Family takes care of family. And as the circle of life continues, you now are their caregiver. It may seem overwhelming, but we're here to help you find the support services necessary so you can provide quality care to your elders.
Call Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington at 1-800-572-4459. Green Motion e-bikes have rolled out the new line of custom e-bikes. They have three-way adjustable folding e-bikes and full-size mountain e-bikes. Pedal assist and a throttle makes them a perfect fit for any rider. Green Motion e-bikes, located in the Mills Brothers building.
It has really been a great partnership between Succession and NCW Life. It's not always easy to sit in front of a camera or a microphone, but you guys have made it a really nice process.
The unmistakable theme to Winning Wednesday, as sung by Mariah Carey, available for downloading on iTunes. The Grant County Fair opened yesterday, runs through Sunday at the fairgrounds in Moses Lake, and by golly, they have come through big time for us. So if you're just joining us, here's the deal. I have 4 packs, so 4 tickets to get in for free. 4 tickets to get in for free on down the line. I got 5 of these, so we're going to have 5 winners. Email me, winner@ncwlife.com, and you can use these free admission any day of the fair that you want. You can use them today, you can use them tomorrow, you can use them Saturday, Sunday, I don't care. Doesn't matter to me. Get you into the fairgrounds for free, and it's $8 to get in, so it's a pretty good deal. So we're going to have 5 winners. We'll draw for 5 winners, and then out of those 5 winners, we'll put those in a separate hat, and I'll draw out one of those 5 to win Lone Star VIP passes. Lone Star is on the Miller stage at the fairgrounds tomorrow night, Thursday the 18th. And these are the VIP passes. So these are the best seats in the house. First of all, you get the lanyard to wear around your neck. Important guy. So it's the best seats in the house. You get catered food and VIP beverage service. So 5 winners. Each of them get 4 passes to get in for free to the Grant County Fair at Moses Lake. And then out of those 5, I'll do a second drawing to give away the 2 passes to see Lone Star. Winner@ncwlife.com. Email me. That's how you do it. You have to email me. Winner@ncwlife.com. Don't forget the rules. It's 1 entry per email address. You can't enter over and over and over again on the same email address. We keep track of these things. Employees of Solion Broadcasting, Local Telecommunications, and their immediate families are not eligible. And since the possibility exists that whoever wins the passes to see Lone Star, you're going to be in an area that serves adult beverages, so you got to be at least 21. All right, got to be at least 21. So 5 lucky winners will each get 4 tickets to get into the fair for free. And then out of those 5, 1 more person is going to win not only the free admission, but 2 tickets to see Lone Star tomorrow night on the Miller stage at the fairgrounds. Thank you to our friends at the Grant County Fair. The excessive heat warning begins at noon today, goes until 11 o'clock Friday. 100 degrees are forecast high today, so right at the triple-digit mark. Not quite a record, but still plenty warm. 74 for the overnight low. We peak on Thursday. The axis of this high-pressure ridge is right over the Pacific Northwest, which is why the temperatures are going to be rather amplified today and Thursday. A little bit of a cool down on Friday, but really not much. And this sunny and hot weather is expected to continue perhaps all the way through the month of August. Kid you not. That's it for us. Have a great Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.